evening, everyone. Pavanji, Minakshiji, Murli, Navika, Dr. Dan, and my dear friends. I really feel overwhelmed to see all of you here on a precious evening, braving the traffic to be with me. I'm actually overwhelmed and gives me great strength and reassures me that it's really all worth it.
I see a lot of, with due apologies, I see a lot of unfit doctors.
Right.
And one of the main reasons is because they just have such long hours and they put in, a lot of hard work. So how do you, who?
So I didn't know.
Oh, that's the reason you're fit, because you're her classmate.
Well, I didn't know you had called me to talk about my fitness. I thought I was supposed to give doctorly advice to everybody.
Yes.
Well,
give doctorly advice. Carry on.
So are you saying why are we fit or why are we unfit?
I'm saying how do you tackle the challenges in your workspace? Because this is about eating at work and eating right at work. So how do you tackle it?
So, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Ishi because she's actually hit the nail on the head. A lot of us eat at work, a lot of us don't eat at work, and a lot of us eat trash at work. So, all of which is probably not good. So, and I've really skimmed through it, I've not read it properly, but you do talk about times where you feel the most hungry and you just basically try and down anything that you come across. So that's obviously,
The devils are.
Yes, that's right. The devils are, what is it, between 5 and 7 or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that being a doctor, being a busy doctor or a surgeon or being any other busy professional, it's quite the same really, because you could get stuck with surgeries, you could get stuck with patients, or you could get stuck with meetings if you're a corporate person, or or you could be playing cricket if you're a cricketer. So either which ways, it may not be possible for a busy professional to actually do a regimented timing of their meals, right?
Right.
So I think it's rather than get fixed on when to eat, you should also concentrate on what to eat. So in general, sugary things are bad, and I'm really sorry because I'm also fond of sugar. I've got a sweet tooth as well. So in general, sugary things are bad. So if you're going to munch on something out of hours or in a rush, have your salad, have the beans, have water, have non-processed juices or non-sweetened juices. But if you
That's
just
the solution. Have water.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Thank you.
Hydration is important.
But if you gorge on stuff that you know is bad, then you're going to end up being
But you're right.
what you call unfit.
Often we mistake our hunger.
Right.
You are hungry, thirsty, but you feel you're hungry. So when you have water, you actually feel better.
Ishi, I think both of you must have been taught by the same Dr. Rita Talwar. That's why you say that have water.
You talked about, brings me to, you talked about alkaline water in your book, right? And a lot of us are following that without knowing why.
Yeah, because these are newer aspects of food that we have probably not been taught in our textbooks, and now we are discovering a whole lot of science around these areas. They were a part of traditional forms of eating. The Ayurveda and the Chakra Samhita spoke about things which we probably didn't understand, the pH of food. It's not only about calories, proteins, vitamins, antioxidants, fiber, etc., but it's also about the pH, which is extremely important. And one of the things we always maintain is try and maintain an overall alkaline pH in your food. And that really boils down to having more fruits and vegetables. And that is one way we can do that, and the other is through water. And somehow, thanks to all the processing, we may want to say something on the proteins with the liver. You can just tell them what you do and what you are seeing these days.
Well, liver-friendly diets are basically diets that are going to be friendly with the entire body, and liver and heart-friendly diets are the same. And the commonest finding on ultrasound, when you just go and have an executive health check or just have an ultrasound done for any reason, and they put that machine on your tummy, like half of you will have a diagnosis of fatty liver. fatty liver is actually the commonest liver disease now in the whole world. 30% of liver failure is happening because of fatty liver. And about a fourth of liver cancer happens because of fatty liver. So fatty liver is not all that benign. However, everybody who has a fatty liver doesn't have to worry, because obviously just having a fatty liver is not that bad, because it can be usually lessened, the amount of fat can be lessened, and you don't necessarily have to progress to liver failure. But 10% of all fatty livers will progress to serious liver disease, and half of them may develop what's called liver scarring or cirrhosis. So what diet should we have to prevent fatty liver or treat fatty liver? I'll give you a little story. 50-60 years ago, they found that the incidence of heart disease was low in the Mediterranean countries, specifically Greece and Italy. And what do they have? They have the Mediterranean diet, obviously. And Mediterranean diet is a lot of the goodies that Ishi's already talked about, like whole grain, fruits and vegetables, fish, not much red meat, some wine, and a lot of the spiritual people ascribe their less heart disease to wine rather than the other goodies. But we doctors believe otherwise. I think it was a balance of fruits, vegetables, fish, and whole grain in their diet, and olive oil, of course.
And the nuts.
Which
And the nuts.
and the
Nuts.
So they have a lot of nuts and legumes. So those were the things that actually accounted for them having less heart disease. And guess what? Exactly the same kind of diet is good for the liver. So if you have or want to prevent fatty liver, this is the kind of diet that you need to have. If you want to forget about, if you want to go home and forget about one thing that you must do, is just eliminate sugar from your diet as much as possible. Simple sugars, right? Which is the, I've already said
that a lot of people
all
are
the
going to
candy
be
and all the
depressed.
candy and all the
Chocolates.
I'm going to have a lot of enemies today, but anyway, yeah, all the chocolates and all the candy and all the cold drinks, they all have the sugars that you shouldn't be having. They have most of them have fructose, right? So if you want to wish that you had some food intolerance, it should be fructose intolerance. But sadly, it's very rare. Fructose intolerance is not very common. Anyway, so I think that's where we are. And the second thing you want to not have too much of is alcohol. So that's for a
Deep silence.
So obviously, I'm never going to be invited for this kind of gathering ever again, without putting people off alcohol and sugar. But unfortunately, those are the two killers of the liver.
But aren't you seeing much more of NASH today than before? There's so many
Yes.
cases of non-alcoholic
So
steatosis.
what Ishi's talking about is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. So non-alcoholic is obvious. Steato means fat, and hepatitis means inflammation of the liver. So even if you haven't had alcohol, a lot of us will have fatty liver, and that happens because of, you can always blame the genes, because some of it happens because of the genetic makeup, but it happens because of overweight, being overweight, not controlling your diabetes, having bad lipids or bad cholesterol, so and basically poor lifestyle choices in food, and not exercising and leading a sedentary life. So those are the causes of fatty liver, and obviously I don't have to tell you, they are preventable. So the reason that we're having more NASH is because the lifestyle is totally deteriorated to a sedentary, high calorie, high fat, sugary type of diet. And that's why we have NASH.
That's the inflammatory diet.
In fact, having unhealthy food, that means excessive fat and sugary stuff, can not just cause fatty liver, it's the cause of a lot of diabetes, it's the cause of a lot of heart disease. So there you go, you know what to avoid.
Are you seeing liver disease in younger and younger, or autoimmune liver disease in younger people?
Autoimmune.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ishi, there were a group of kids between 2 and 4 who were supposed to have cirrhosis, that means bad liver because of unknown causes, and a lot of them were classified as Indian childhood cirrhosis. But actually now it's known that majority of them did have defined causes. It's just that 30, 40 years ago, we didn't have tests to diagnose those conditions. So children also get liver disease, but they are usually because of, small children get liver disease because of something called biliary atresia, which means that the biliary system, the bile system that goes from the liver to the intestine is not very well developed. And a lot of them will have metabolic defects, which means they're missing some enzyme which metabolizes some kind of substances, so they accumulate in the liver and cause toxicity. And a lot of them have fatty liver as well. Children of 10 to 15 years of age, imagine having fatty liver disease. So we are seeing a rise in liver disease in children, but the good part is we know why they happen. I mean, okay, let's take it seriously, okay? Let's not joke about it because it's not a joke. The amount of alcohol that one can safely take according to WHO and then American standards is generally about 14 units a week, which is approximately 7 mugs of beer, or 6 glasses of wine, or, sorry, you said something?
I'm looking at Mala's face.
Yeah, or 14 shots of spirits, like 30 mils of whiskey is one shot. So, if people restrict themselves to this much, it's very unlikely that they'll get into trouble, but they could, because they could be metabolizers of the type that jaldi chad jati hai.
Okay, so
In the
there's.
sense which other people may not.
Do you
So if they have bad metabolism, it could be much less hurting them, but these general rules have been recommended.
But does your tolerance for alcohol go down as you